This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
Well, would you look who's back? Let's see, I know you, don't know you, but hey, welcome to the show anyway. Ray DeLessio flying solo this week. The only change in format, everything else stays the same content-wise, including this, something we call the show lineup. Coming up, from humble roots to unimaginable success, how Full Bloom Nursery in Hall County is cultivating a community of passionate gardeners. Also on the show, the growing impact of women in agriculture and the strides being made thanks to forums just like this one. And then later, brace yourself as we show you a place where animals and empathy continue to change lives. How Cooper Ridge Farm in Columbia County has given this young man and his family hope for a brighter future. These stories and so much more are starting right now on the Farm Monitor. Transforming dreams into reality is a prevailing aspiration among agribusiness owners statewide. Witnessing this journey firsthand is Full Bloom Nursery in Hall County. As Damon Jones reports, what began as a modest roadside market has blossomed into one of North Georgia's premier garden centers.
With the days getting longer and the weather getting warmer, green thumbs around Georgia are making their way back into the garden. That means plants are flying off the lot of Full Bloom Nursery, a staple of the Hall County community that was started up by a husband and wife team looking to follow their passion.
We decided let's open a nursery. So in 2003, we opened to the public. We built all of this ourselves. We built the greenhouses, we laid it all out, and we wanted to just have a nice place with shade trees and off the highway where it just feels like you're in a garden. It was a pipe dream, but you know the saying, if you build it, they will come. Well, that's very true in the world of flowers and gardening because gardeners are really seriously passionate about gardening.
That belief, along with plenty of hard work, has resulted in this business growing from just a single greenhouse into the expansive, award-winning operation it is today.
We're pretty much the biggest retail garden center in North Georgia. And we have customers who come down from South Carolina and Tennessee and Atlanta and all over. As they're coming through, you know, or if they've moved away, they come back. And so it's just really grown into, we have, I think, 12 greenhouses, and we have 5 acres of retail space for the customers to shop from.
In order to keep up to date with the season and provide the largest variety of plants for their customers, those 12 greenhouses stay busy throughout the year. It's a process they say is truly a labor of love.
When you start that little plant, you know, it starts out, it's this little tiny thing and you're seeing no visible evidence of growth. And then, you know, you're 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks in and you see what you've done and put your hard work and labor into. Man, it's just great to see where you start and end up.
We're doing year-round production. We grow a lot of our own plant material here. So we have some production greenhouses where that goes on all through the winter to get ready for spring. The fall is a big season for us too because that's the time of year you want to plant trees, and there's 2 big seasons for us, spring and fall. So we're always producing for the next season.
That's one of the major differences between a local nursery and the big box store, as the selection of plants and flowers to choose from are specifically curated to maximize the chance of success in the difficult growing conditions Georgia provides.
Unfortunately, sometimes if you go to a big box store, you might get plants that are shipped in from Washington State or Minnesota, and they're not acclimated to this southern heat, humidity climate. And our big swings in temperature, you know, in the springtime, we can go from 30s at night to 70s during the day. That's a 40-degree swing. And that's hard on plants if they're not acclimated to that. So everything we have here will grow here.
Despite that peace of mind, the prospect of choosing the right plant for the right spot in your garden can still seem daunting. However, with little help from these trained professionals, it's a job that is far from impossible.
We're here, we want you to succeed. It's a lot of fun, but it is scary. For someone like me, you know, I'm still very new, green into this. Yes, I grew up, my parents are great and have done a great job with this, but I learn something new every day. So don't be afraid to come out here. That's what we're here for. We'll help you and guide you to be successful.
So we encourage them, bring pictures of the areas, bring some measurements. We'll even sketch it out on paper and help them lay out what's going to work for their situation. The number one rule in gardening is put the right plant in the right spot.
Reporting from Hall County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
With the increase in tractors, trucks, and other farm equipment on our highways comes a greater risk for crashes, especially if we do not give these vehicles extra space and slow down when encountering them. Crashes involving agricultural vehicles are 5 times more likely to result in a fatality than non-agricultural. When you see a farm vehicle, especially those displaying the orange slow-moving triangle, slow down and give the operator extra space. Obey roadway markings and know that the operator may not be able to see you. Crashes, like the one depicted in this video, are avoidable. Let's share the road and prevent them.
Plain and simple, when you see a farmer, slow down. That's certainly the message one Georgia County wants to convey, both through word of mouth and visually. After seeing 11 accidents involving farm equipment over the past 15 years, including one late last fall, the Heard County Farm Bureau has decided to take action with this banner reminding drivers to slow down and share the road. Now, unlike a billboard, this will be moved throughout the surrounding areas, which County Farm Bureau President Ralph Caldwell hopes will maximize its effect. For him, this banner isn't just a piece of fabric. It's a beacon of hope and a symbol of proactive change.
The majority of these have been in about a 4-mile radius of each other, but we have had accidents all over our region, and so we are hoping that maybe it will, by being moved around, it just doesn't become something that is just naturally there and people don't pay attention. So hoping to bring more awareness.
Well, there is no denying that women are pivotal in agriculture, often assuming multiple roles to ensure success of both farm operations and family life. As John Holcomb reports, access to resources and supportive communities is vital for their inclusion and success in the industry.
In Athens recently, conversations were had surrounding the topic of women in agriculture, which according to USDA census data accounts for 36% of the ag industry's workforce, 3 times what it was just decades ago. However, despite that progress, there's still more work to be done, which is where the Women in Agriculture Forum comes in.
We were able to travel all over Georgia and to meet farmers and ranchers all across Georgia. And all of them were very happy and generous when it came to sharing their experiences with us. And the common theme here really was that, first of all, agriculture is a necessary and vital industry, but it is also a really hard profession, especially for women. And so our question was kind of, how can we make this a little bit easier? How can we possibly support female farmers in Georgia? And I think this forum today is kind of our answer to that question. We're trying to support female farmers in Georgia by providing a platform for them to get to know each other, to build a community, but also to learn about state and federal resources, and to also practice some really tangible skills like leadership, mentoring, and branding.
According to Bankert, one of the biggest hurdles they found for women in the agriculture industry was the lack of community. As she says, most are juggling several things at once and either don't know about or don't have time to utilize the resources that are out there.
What we heard a lot was the lack of community, the lack of support, simply because in many cases a female farmer is not the stereotypical farmer. So sometimes there was the lack of having a supportive community that was really a big challenge. The other one is in fact mental health. That too was something that came up quite repeatedly. And also just unawareness, really, a lack of awareness when it came to available resources, right? And so we really tried to tailor this workshop to these needs and to provide at least a starting point to address those deficiencies.
To Brianna Berry, Leadership Programs Coordinator for the Georgia Farm Bureau, that's where GFB comes in. As she says, though women in ag often do have a full plate, not only is GFB a great resource for them, they're also vital to the organization's success.
I think Farm Bureau provides a really great opportunity for our women in agriculture to find that sense of belonging, that sense of community. there are women in our organization who have, they might be older with a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience that they can offer our younger and future generations that is vital for that next generation to have success. They've faced a lot of challenges, a lot of struggles, maybe a lot of obstacles that they've found that community that has helped them work through some of those challenges. And we really can be a place where all of those groups come together, all of those ages and generations meet and are able to share their experiences, share their knowledge, and really find that community that really is necessary for our ladies to be successful.
Reporting in Athens for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
When we come back, you're going to witness the profound connection between animals and people, where hope takes root and miracles unfold. The story and the people behind Cooper Ridge Farm, next.
The University of Georgia's Agricultural Research and Education Centers address some of the industry's most critical issues today. From the Appalachian Mountains to the southern coastal plain and everywhere in between, the 8 centers around the state are hubs for innovation and discovery. Farmers rely on UGA Research and Education Centers for accurate and location-specific research outcomes to help them effectively manage their resources. UGA's College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences researchers in Athens, Griffin, and Tifton collaborate closely with the centers, conducting research that benefits producer profitability and sustainability. The statewide variety testing program identifies the highest performing crop varieties, including peanuts, cotton, corn, and soybeans, to help producers cultivate success in the diverse growing conditions around the state. The centers also release new horticultural crops into the production pipeline, including ornamentals, blueberries, and pecans. And they deliver some of the best fruit and vegetable varieties across the country, including the Vidalia onion, a popular Georgia vegetable. Georgia's hot and humid climate provides the perfect conditions to improve researchers' understanding of agricultural insect, weed, and disease problems, indicating how local environments can affect new crop varieties' resistance mechanisms. This information leads to improved management strategies for commercially important crops, including bell peppers, peaches, and watermelons. The research doesn't stop at crops. With beef cattle in all 159 Georgia counties, researchers supply producers with superior genetics, forage, and nutrient recommendations to enhance herd health, cattle yield, and grade. Many farmers today are working towards sustainable agricultural systems which rely on building healthy soils, enhancing biodiversity, and minimizing the use of non-renewable resources. The centers evaluate how sustainable practices like cover crops, reduced tillage, and a limited application of fertilizers and pesticides impact production and yields. UGA researchers also test new irrigation techniques and technology to maximize water use efficiency and water conservation, along with emerging technologies in precision agriculture. Faculty share their findings through reports, presentations, and field days geared toward educating farmers, extension agents, and industry stakeholders. The agricultural discoveries being made at UGA Research and Education Centers increase producer profits, provide consumers with the highest quality goods, and limit environmental impacts, keeping our planet healthy for generations to come.
Nestled in the heart of Appling, Georgia lies Cooper Ridge Farm, a haven of transformation. Founded by Josephine and Justin Fuller, this not-for-profit farm has rewritten their lives' narrative, turning the page from the corporate world to a story of compassion, connection, and growth. Their mission, to harness the magic of animal-assisted therapy, all while providing education, development, and emotional support to participants through structured farm activities with their four-legged partners. The journey to Cooper Ridge Farm wasn't always a pastoral path. Josephine and Justin Fuller, once entangled in the corporate web, discovered a yearning for something more profound, more purposeful, more powerful. This epiphany led them away from the confines of boardrooms and deadlines. Even as Justin continued his role as a construction project manager at the Savannah Riverside Nuclear Facility, the couple found themselves at a crossroads. It was in their newfound haven that they realized both the land and animals surrounding them could be a tool for healing and learning.
Both wanted property, and when we found this property, and it was already an established farm, at least the fencing was here, some of the fencing, so then we started to get our animals, and we realized that we really have something special here. It just kind of fell into place. The animals that we were purchasing, our goats, even the people that we got them from said, this one goat is like a dog. He'll follow you around everywhere. The low-line Black Angus have a different temperament that is very calming than a full-size Angus. They just tend to be a calm breed. So it just kind of fell into place with each animal that we've added to our farm.
With participants aged 3 to 24 gracing their pastures, Cooper Ridge Farm emerges as a place of endless possibilities. For children and adults with and without special needs, the embrace of a non-judgment animal partner can be life-altering. As sunlight filters through swaying branches, young hearts find solace, acceptance, and empowerment in the company of these gentle creatures.
I think animals calm and motivate us, and that in and of itself opens the doors for self-improvement on so many levels. Just by a look or a touch, it completely changes the world of the person interacting with that animal. Traditional therapies, they go through their system of traditional therapies, and they may plateau at certain points. They're looking for something that I think piques an interest in a child that has a natural interest with animals. I think children have more of a natural interest with animals when they're younger. They want to learn about farm animals. They want to be outside. Some like to get dirty, or they come here and they learn how to get dirty and be okay with that.
Among the many stories of growth at Cooper Ridge Farm, one shines notably bright. That of 11-year-old Gideon Davis, a young man navigating life on the autism spectrum. For Gideon, Cooper Ridge has become more than just a place. It's a sanctuary where leaps and bounds aren't just dreams, but tangible milestones. Gideon's mother, Jenny, marvels at Josephine's uncanny ability to unlock her son's potential, going as far as calling her a miracle worker.
Since his diagnosis at the age of 2, we've been in occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, and he's, gained a lot of skills, but it's in a therapeutic setting and, office, clinic, that sort of thing. But while he's here working with Miss Josephine, all those things he's learning in OT, in physical therapy, are coming into play when he's using his knees and squatting down to pick up a bucket of chicken feed, and instead of bending over with his back like he used to, and working on lower body strength and upper body strength, and as he's walking Nugget, not only is he trying to communicate directions to this lovable goat, but he's also following multi-step instructions from Miss Josephine, which is one of the things that we're always working on.
Now, if you do become a farmer someday, what kind of animals are you going to have on your farm?
Cats, dogs.
Cows?
Yeah, and goats and llamas.
We do our sessions for 90 minutes, which is longer than most therapies that a child will attend. It gives us the ability to have animal time and also other activities, whether it's gardening, out learning how to seed, how to plant things from seed and harvest and take it home, whether we're learning about color number, animal identification, there's all different things, or maintaining our mealworm farm. They're getting involved in everything.
For Jenny Davis, Cooper Ridge Farm has ignited a spark of hope. A hope that Gideon's future is one of independence. A future where he isn't bound by the limitations of his condition. Cooper Ridge stands as a testament to humanity's innate desire to heal, connect, and evolve. Josephine, Justin, and their four-legged residents have nurtured a space where seeds of change are sown and miracles unfold one hoofprint at a time.
We live for the future. I mean, we work day by day, but we live for the future. We want them to be themselves, and we want to help them improve in any way that we can. You know, if there's a goal to get them out and working, someone out and having a job, you know, whatever suits them. Maybe that's not a goal, and maybe it can't happen, but there's a possibility, and we want to open those possibilities.
Up next, some pretty neat stuff, from farm to flight. The groundbreaking work scientists at USDA are doing to produce greener jet fuel, paving the way for a cleaner, more sustainable future in aviation.
U.S. airline companies have committed to reducing carbon dioxide emissions by 50% by the year 2050. And because of this, there has become an increased demand for renewable jet fuel that can be blended with the 23 billion gallons of fossil fuel currently supplying the jet fuel market. Agricultural Research Service scientists at the National Center for Agricultural Utilization Research in Peoria, Illinois, assembled a collection of yeasts that convert agricultural waste into bio-oil, which is then converted into biodiesel or renewable jet fuel.
The aviation industry is very, very interested in transitioning to sustainable aviation fuels for environmental reasons, and yet their need is largely unmet. If we can produce oil in sugarcane or other bioenergy crops that they're working on, then we can actually generate more oil on a per acre basis than we can get from, for example, soybeans. And we can also grow some of the crops they're working on marginal farmland that won't interfere with production of row crops. And furthermore, we get this large fibrous biogas cake that we need to also find a purpose for to make it economical and to increase the environmental metrics even more. And that's where our yeasts come in. We can take the sugars that we can generate from this bagasse and use our yeast to convert them into further oil that can also be used for this purpose.
One of these yeasts was used in a pilot demonstration at a commercial development center to convert sugarcane waste, also known as bagasse, into bio-oil. The yeast produced 14 gallons of bio-oil from 1 ton of bagasse. This shows the yeasts are robust enough to produce bio-oil in a commercial, large-scale operation. Not only does this accomplishment move us toward less reliance on fossil fuels, it also provides an opportunity to convert underutilized agricultural residues into value-added green biofuels that support rural economies.
And maybe, just maybe, that will translate to cheaper airfare. Fingers crossed, right? Well, you hear the music. That's our cue for everyone here at the show. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Have a great week.